A man hears a woman's wail every night and never find her. Every night at precisely 3:03 a.m., Ethan would awaken to the same haunting sound. A woman's wail, soft at first, like a breeze brushing past his ear, then rising into a cry that pierced the stillness of the night. His small house on the edge of town, surrounded by woods and silence, had always been peaceful until now. The first night he brushed it off as a dream, the second, perhaps an animal. But by the fourth night, the sound became too real, too human. It wasn't just a wail, it was filled with pain, grief, and desperation. He opened his window once, hoping to catch a glimpse, but saw only mist and shadow. There was no one outside, no trace of anything. The wail lingered, as if the sorrow had seeped into the very walls of his home. Ethan tried everything to drown it out. Earplugs, white noise machines, even moving his bed to the farthest room. Nothing worked. The cry was persistent, growing louder and sadder each night. It began to seep into his daily life. The echo of the wail clung to him like a shadow. He stopped sleeping, haunted by the echo of grief that was not his own. His co-workers noticed the dark circles under his eyes, his sudden paranoia. He couldn't explain it. How could he tell them that a woman he had never seen was crying outside his window every single night? The sound began to feel personal, as if it was meant just for him. There was a strange familiarity in the pain, a whisper of connection that made his skin crawl. And deep inside, he felt something awaken, curiosity, fear, and an urge to find her. Desperate to escape the nightly torment, Ethan booked a weekend in the city, hoping the bustling noise would drown out the cry. But the first night in the hotel, he was awakened again, 3:03 a.m., by the same chilling wail, now echoing from the alley outside. His heart froze. It followed him. Back home, it returned with a vengeance. Even at his office, he heard faint sobs echoing from empty conference rooms. Sound was no longer bound by place, it was tied to him. His friends started to drift away, disturbed by his erratic behavior. "It's just stress," they said. "Get help." But Ethan knew better. This wasn't in his head. The wail had chosen him, and no matter where he ran, it found him. What did she want from him? And why him? The need to uncover the truth grew unbearable. He had to follow it. One night, unable to bear it any longer, Ethan ventured into the forest behind his home. The wail guided him like a trail of breadcrumbs, echoing through the trees. The deeper he walked, the colder it became. Thick fog coiled around him like fingers, and shadows twisted unnaturally. Then he saw them, strange markings carved into the trees, symbols he didn't recognize, looping and jagged like something ancient and angry. They pulsed faintly in the moonlight. He touched one, and a sudden chill shot through him. The wailing intensified, so close it felt like it was coming from inside his skull. He stumbled upon a circle of stones, each engraved with the same symbols, half buried beneath moss and leaves. It felt like a boundary, something sacred, cursed. As he stood in the center, the wail suddenly stopped. Silence fell, heavier than any sound he'd ever known. That silence didn't last long. The next night, the wail returned. But this time, it was different. It whispered his name, Ethan, drawn out like a lullaby of death. It wasn't just crying now, it was pleading, begging. Sound filled his room from every direction, vibrating through his bones. He collapsed to the floor, hands over his ears, but the voice was inside him. "Help me, Ethan," moaned. His dreams were infected. Visions of a woman in a long, tattered dress, her hair soaked in blood, her eyes hollow. He saw her reaching for him, sobbing, trapped behind a glass wall of time and space. When he woke, his name was carved into the fog on his window pane. He was being summoned, chosen. And now, it wasn't fear that drove him, guilt. What if he had done something wrong? What if she needed him to write it? Determined to uncover the truth, Ethan returned to the forest the following night. There, in the moonlight, stood a woman, pale-skinned, wrapped in a cloak, with eyes that looked like they had seen centuries. "You hear it too, don't you?" she asked before he could speak. Her name was Lila, and she had been hearing the wail since she was a child. She believed the cries belonged to a spirit trapped between worlds. "She's trying to find peace," Lila whispered. "Something is keeping her bound." Ethan was skeptical but intrigued. Lila spoke with eerie certainty, like she knew the ghost. She had followed the sound through different towns and forests, always finding the same symbols. Ethan felt a strange pull toward her, as if they were meant to meet. They agreed to search together, to find the truth behind the voice that haunted them both. Following the symbols deeper into the forest, Ethan and Lila stumbled upon an overgrown path that led to a forgotten cemetery. Vines wrapped around crumbling headstones, many too worn to read. The air was thick with decay and memory. Some graves were marked with the same strange symbols they'd seen on the tree. In the center stood a grand, cracked gravestone, half sunk into the earth. Read, Amelia Thorne, 1782. She cried for justice when none would listen. The moment they saw her name, the wailing returned, louder than ever. The ground trembled beneath their feet. Birds fled from the tree. "This is her," Lila said, eyes wide with realization. "She's buried here. She was never at rest." Ethan knelt beside the grave, running his fingers over the name. He felt warmth beneath the soil, as if a hand was reaching back from the other side. As the wail intensified, Lila stepped back, her face pale. "I didn't want to say this," she began, "but Amelia Thorne was my ancestor." Ethan's breath caught. Lila explained that her family had long spoken of a curse, a woman betrayed and buried in shame after being accused of witchcraft. Her spirit, it was said, would cry until her name was clear. Lila had spent years piecing together Amelia's stories, following the signs, the cries, the dreams. "I think she needs you," Lila told him. "You're the one she chose to bear witness, to help her find peace." Ethan felt the connection now, a pull so deep it hurt. Maybe Amelia had been trying to speak through him, not haunt him. He looked at Lila and saw her trembling. "If we do this," he asked, "will she finally stop crying?" Lila nodded slowly. "Only if we listen." Suddenly the air split with a deafening scream, raw, primal, filled with centuries of agony. Ethan clutched his ears, falling to his knees. The trees around them bent and moaned as if forest itself were in pain. He looked up. Lila was gone, just gone, vanished without a trace. In her place, a figure stood among the graves, Amelia. Her form flickered like smoke, her eyes hollow, her mouth twisted in endless sorrow. "Why did you leave me?" The voice boomed, surrounding Ethan. "Lila!" He screamed into the void, but there was no answer. He stumbled backward, heart pounding. The grave glowed faintly, a red hue pulsing from the earth. Amelia's face came close, inches from his. "You were supposed to help me," she hissed. And then, just as suddenly she vanished. The cemetery was silent. The screams still echoed in Ethan's mind. Ethan sat beside Amelia's grave until dawn, broken and shaken. Everything made sense now. Her cries, the symbols, pulled toward the forest. She wasn't trying to hurt him. She was trying to be found, to be remembered, to be set free. And Lila, was she taken? Or had she become part of the spirit world too? Ethan didn't know, but he had a duty now. He contacted a local historian, gathered documents, and wrote Amelia's true story. He cleared her name publicly, bringing the truth to light. A memorial was placed over her grave. "Here lies Amelia Thorne, woman of strength, betrayed, but never forgotten." That night, for the first time in weeks, there was no wail, just peace. But as Ethan fell asleep, he heard a soft whisper, and then silence, the kind that settles after a long storm, when justice has finally been heard. If this chilling tale of the Wailing Woman sent shivers down your spine, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more haunting stories every week. Hit the bell icon so you never miss the next ghostly encounter. Till next time, keep your lights on and your eyes open.